Getting settled back in. Okay. We are back. Get a refreshed beverage. There we go. Huh. Suddenly very quiet. There we go. That's a misclick there. It's a lot of soup bowls. Okay, so we have the missing pair of slippers. We have some quite heeled shoes there, which to me, I'm thinking Alita here. Yeah. Kind of an at-home sort of place, isn't it? This has a connection to the murder in the park. I'm sure of it. Police guy out front wasn't so sure. Beyond it being where the victim lived. It's like the police team's gone home for the day. Might be some clues lying around. Let's get cracking, Apollo. These are the slippers for the patients at the clinic. Same as the pair we found, of course. Single pair is missing from the rack. Missing from the rack here too. Ours have paint on the bottom. Means they were taken out here on the night of the murder. Right. Paint's from the hit and run, after all. Or a pair of clinic slippers doing it in that trash can. Are they doing it at the scene of the hit and run? Single pair of sandals here. Why would there be sandals here? They belong to one of the patients. Maybe it's a visitor that came to see Dr. Maractus. Oh. His name is Pal Maractus. So, Mal Paractus. Haha. Just got that. It's the first letter of the first and last name swapped. So it's still a pun name with an extra step. Hello, Sammy. Come to join me. Sammy's getting some back scratches right now. How's everyone doing? You'd think they'd use his house entrance instead of the clinic entrance in that case. And if this patient or visitor isn't still here, why'd they leave without their shoes? Better take a closer look at these just in case. Cute women's sandals. Yeah, it's Alita's color scheme. Grubby toe print. Oh, you think this could be a toe print. Maybe we can get a print off of it. Oh, 3DS mechanics. Maximize this. There we go. It worked. It's like a big toe, maybe. But wait, I mean, it's great that we got the print, but is there such a thing as a list of toe prints? Good point. If there is, Detective Sky didn't give it to us. Which means we can't match this print. It's like a good time to ask for a detective's advice. Look at all these bowls. They're from Eldoon's Noodles. There's Mr. Salty. I think we figured something out. I think we have. Mr. Eldoon must do takeout. Not exactly what I was thinking. All the bowls have been washed clean. I think we found our first clue, Trucy. Clinic reception desk. No one's here, of course. Small sign on the counter. Please pay your bill. Remember, we're the ones holding the scalpel. Wow. That's a whole lot of statements rolled in together, isn't it? We're doing the surgery that you're here for. We have this knife here. It would be a shame if something happened to you. Brutal, but effective. Door says doctor's office. You think this is the victim's private office? It's not locked. Too bad. Why too bad? I like opening locks. It's kind of a hobby of mine. Like those little bike locks? Don't even bother putting them on when I'm around. Probably not a hobby you want to tell too many people about. It reminds me of in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I can't remember their names, but the legal assistant. How she was apparently so fascinated with clockwork that her father couldn't actually have a pocket watch in his house because as soon as she got it, she took it apart to see how it worked. Like, as soon as she encountered it, she would dismantle it. Apollo, that sound came from behind this door. Someone's in there. Let's check it out. Gasp. Too late to catch them now. I jumped out the window, I guess. Must be her experience as a panty snatcher chaser talking. Should tell the police. Check out the room first, Apollo. If we call the police now, we'll lose our chance. Get the police in, we won't be able to tamper with the crime scene. Things for certain. This clinic and our murder case are looking pretty related now. Books and papers scattered around the room. What a mess. This is worse than Daddy's room. Burglar must have left in a hurry. And the cup on the desk here is lying on its side. The juice that spilled out of that cup, it's dry. Definitely juice. You know, a dark amber juice. Likely apple. So the messy one wasn't our burglar just now. Someone knocked this cup over a while ago and left it. Look at that. They dropped their definitely apple juice bottle all over the floor. Bit of an expensive looking lamp, isn't it? The bulb's broken. Oh, broken? Don't you mean burned out? Oh, our cat burglar must have dropped it. Why is it standing on the floor like that, then? Look at the cord. It's a red splotch on part of the cord. I think that's blood. A little bright for blood. Almost pinkish. Thing's definitely out about that lamp. Show me the odd lamp. It's meant to be like a lip print. Got some of the contour of it, but it might just be that it's over the two parts of the cord. But red stain. I wonder what left that stain. I know, maybe it was left there by a red marker. Like they were trying to write their name and it slipped. I mean, why would anyone write their name on a lamp cord? I used to write my name on my magic ropes. The bulb is broken. It won't turn on. How is it broken? Touch that, you'll cut yourself. Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, my finger. You're bleeding, let me see that. Wait, magic blood. Please don't do that again. I have enough to worry about without my coworkers injuring themselves on the evidence. What are those? The wall is covered with beakers. Things moving inside that one. You look. Hey, look yourself. You can't. Oh. It's a goldfish. Ah, they're all fish. So many kinds. Whoever designed this had a sixth sense of humor. I mean, they also don't like their fish much. There's no sign of any sort of, like, flow control in their sealed canisters. The cute little safe. It's like a 4-digit lock. Someone's already entered in 2 numbers, Apollo. 7 and 9. Do you think that burglar just now was trying to open it? I wonder what's inside this safe. Any way we can figure out the last 2 numbers? No, the first 2. Maybe there's something in the court record. Something that can help us figure out the last 2. I have just the thing. I know if buttons have been pressed, we can use this. Press the buttons, you'd have to touch them with your fingers. It would leave a print. You open the safe. You don't press any other buttons but the right ones, right? If we can find the buttons with fingerprints, we'll have the safe code. Ba-ba-ba-ba. fun way to mess with that kind of pattern is to use the backspace button repeatedly during the process and make sure that every button gets pressed. You know, for the paranoid. Yeah, see, back is pressed. Though, I presume this is because they are, this is somebody, this could be somebody trying the safe, you know? You can see the oily finger residues clearly. 7 and 9. These are glove marks. The burglar must have been wearing gloves. Might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open the safe. 5 and 2. I wonder if it'll take 2-5 as well. A golden lucky cat. And a bullet. It's like a bullet hole. See the bullet sticking out. Why is it in the middle of the safe? Bullet came out. Tip is all squished. Surprising, given that it was fired into a metal safe. Bullet's got a story behind it, that's for sure. I just take this evidence and stick it in my pocket. I'm sure nobody will have a problem with us doing this. There's a non-trivial amount of this kind of thing being done. Hey there, Kebo. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm glad that you can join us. We're playing the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. Lots of narration and reading in this, so there's plenty of time to chat if you'd like. Otherwise, feel free to watch and listen. And or. Like a medical chart. There's an X-ray in here with it. An X-ray, can't make heads or tails of it. Can't read the chart either, it's all in medical speak. Hey there, Brianna. Well, thanks, Gabo. The names are easy to read, enough to read. Look, by patient it says Waki Kataki. How are you folks doing tonight? So this is Waki, our client's chart. Why would this one chart be here in this safe? Pretty much, Brianna. This is I'm the proto-nanotype. A domestic robot. The original one, now tasked with operating the factory. Not the biggest channel. And not everybody necessarily likes their Ace Attorney all the time. The position signature says Pal Maractus. What is it, Apollo? Look here where it says who filed the chart. See, Nurse Alita Tiala. Yup. Yep, Alita is involved. Ah. Alita Tiala is Waki's fiance. It's one Ida too many, Apollo. her mind. What's her name doing here? How should I know? So I guess it means she's on staff at this clinic. I mean, list videos are pretty common. Not that she neglected to mention this before now. No, not odd at all. Not odd at all. This is this, I believe, is the first case after the tutorial of the first game in the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. Well, I do have a lot of other videos in my channel that you could look at and see if maybe you can get the idea from there after the stream. Shameless plug. Seamless plug. Sure, she had her reasons. So Alida Tiala worked at the Maractus Clinic. She had access to Waki Kataki's medical record. You got the I and Y wrong, Apollo. Be very interested to find out what this chart says. That is one of my cats. Do-do. So I believe you're looking, given how you said the patterning was, so you're looking at the short form version of the stream. Top left there is Sherbet. Then down right of that is Ember, the little gray and white and orange one. Then 2 down from that, there is Sky in the top of a cat tree, and then Sammy on a platform 2 down from him. It's the cat camera array here. We set it to that one, and then we zoom in a little bit. Short form doesn't show it as well, but yeah. Sky is the biggest one. He's napping in the top there. And then Sammy is kind of the lower side of the size class there. She's second smallest, kind of close, but definitely smaller than Sherbet. So she's kind of yeah, second smallest. She's a little tuxedo there at the bottom. Makes sense. Makes sense. I do run. I run on Twitch and in a wide format, and YouTube. I also run in a wide format, giving people some options. My bandwidth can handle about 3 options. Could help us decipher this. Well, we know that Eldoon is a doctor. Let's see. One of our recent ones that we've done a lot of is Monster Hunter. I don't know that we're going to... when that's going to pick up again. We've dabbled in a couple of other things. I try to do these kind of interactive fiction games when I can, generally Ace Attorney. I do have a bunch of other Ace Attorney-like ones lined up. But periodically other games. We did some Pal World recently. We showed the opening of Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Back in the day, we played Noida extensively. Large variety of things. Recently, we have started up some very, very rookie game development. Only effectively one stream into the first project now. And I'm hoping to pick up, we did some book reading before, and I'm hoping to pick up some more of that. It can be a thing, Kebo. It can be a thing. It can be a hobby. It can be something you try to lean into. It can be a lot of work. He's sleeping. I do not wish to disturb the sleepy kitty. Oh, well, he heard me talking. When he wants to be pet, he'll crawl up behind my, that particular one will crawl up behind my head on my chair rest. So that's Sherbet. Like I said, he'll get up on the head of my chair. So I have to reach up behind me and give him back scratches. The Tuxedo Sammy will walk up onto my lap and lay there and demand back scratches. Ember will crawl up on my chest. And she'll want to be pet that way. And let's see here. Mason kind of strafes around and wants, like, brief, very particular attention. And Sky will make a terrible nuisance of himself, either wanting food or he wants his chin scratched a lot. Let's see here. Ember has noticed us talking. Yep. Ember will respond to her name a little bit. All right, Kebo. Well, thanks for joining us. And speaking of, Ember has come over for her pets. That's right. For me, Valentine's Day is pretty much just a day. Was a little productive on the game project. Insomnia still a thing. Sleep issues still a thing. Safe, cat statue, can't touch any of that. Okay, all that's considered normal. Gotcha. Window is ajar. No, it's not. It's a window. Must be how our burglar escaped. Wonder who it was. It was just a burglar who happened to pick here. Yeah, but there's a patrol car sitting out front. If I were a burglar, I'd come back the next day at least. I'd give it a month myself. Whoever broke in obviously needed to break in today. Potted plant has seen better days. That doesn't make sense either. Apollo is like a junior lawyer working a case where Phoenix is accused of murder at the start of the game. Pointy hair. Oh, two kind of pointy prongs on his hair. Red vest. gold bangle on his wrist. He ends up, in the process of the case, defending Phoenix, he ends up showing that his boss is actually the killer, and thus losing his job, and now is working kind of pro bono for Phoenix Wright, who is no longer a lawyer. He apparently lost his license. Well, his badge, you know. They have been dancing around telling us why and what happened. As in, they actively are not telling us despite referencing it over and over. The last time it was like, no, you'll have to figure that out yourself. We're not telling you. At the moment, it doesn't seem like he's getting paid. Like, he's out of a job. They called him here. They're like, yeah, we're going to have you run tasks for us. And now he's wrapped up in a court case. Normally, burglars are looking for valuables, right? That's true. That's what I'd do if I were a burglar. So why look under a potted plant? Maybe they were looking for the key to the safe. I've heard of people putting their house keys under plants, but the key to a safe? Maybe the burglar was looking for the house keys. This is getting nowhere fast. Alright, we're going to go back to the clinic entrance. We're going to go out the door. We're going to talk to the Noodle Man. That is Trucy Wright. She is Phoenix Wright's daughter, apparently. Huh. I know, right? And the thing is, she is old enough. My understanding, she's old enough that she would have been born during the Ace Attorney trilogy, because it's this game is taking place 7 years after, I believe 7 years after the last case in the Ace Attorney trilogy. Yeah, we don't know if it's a biological daughter. If it is, you know, a good enough distance back that it raises questions. I get the impression that adopted daughter, but we'll have to see. Weird. We don't know that either. Effectively, in the tutorial trial, we're introduced to her as like a picture in Phoenix's locket of his daughter, and then she shows up during the trial to help to give us fake evidence that we use to kind of catch the prosecution in a lie. And the use of fake evidence is supposed to be one of the ways, one of the reason that Phoenix lost his badge. So we can do to look the record here. Bullet lodged near heart. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Yeah, let's see. What could her name be a pun for? So his is malpractice. It's Pal Maractus, and if you swap the first two the two first letters, you get Malpractice. So there's one Ace Attorney game. One of the Ace Attorney games is So the first three, or the first trilogy that you can get, has a game that is of a similar age as this one. This one has some of the 3D and similar. Yeah, Alita's name is... I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense. Squished. All mushed. One tough save. You know, it looks kind of yummy. Like ice cream. Caramel. Certainly have an active imagination, Truzy. I usually start streaming at 4 p.m. Central, and I usually go for about 3 hours. But if it's, if things are rolling, I'll go for, 5 to 6. I try to stop at 6. Though that depends on what kind of stream it is. If it's game content, I try to stop at about 6 in case one of the game companies gets kind of copyright claim trigger happy, I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know? Can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. Next, she'll have us analyzing face prints. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Let's ask Detective Sky to help us. Emma, tell us of toe prints. These sandals. It's quite a clear print there. A toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. There is a way of finding out, of course. There is? What? All you need is a sample of the same toe print off another shoe, for instance. If prints match, you'd know the same person wore both. It depends. Let's see here. Generally what happens is opening and ending credits in games, it's not too infrequent that they use like a song that they have licensed, we got dinged on the end of Danganronpa 1, on the opening credits of Judgment, and a couple of other things where there was like a band's fully vocalized song. So I have taken to keeping the stream short enough that I can have YouTube auto remove the music as necessary. And I've gotten real trigger happy as far as muting the desktop sound as soon as I hear vocals. But no, as a lawyer mentioned in a stream recently, it's not that it's something that they wouldn't do. It's that either they haven't noticed you or they have decided that you're not worth going after. But generally the rights holding companies that handle things like music licenses and whatnot, if they notice you, they'll go after you. One way or another. Prints match, you'd know the same person wore both. I have another shoe worn by the same person. I bet it was the slipper. beginning to suspect something here. Active Sky, can you compare this sample with this other one? How about... take a look at this and see. Yeah. There's a clue there. This be a print? I mean a toe print. Could analyze it. Could you spam what, Brianna? You are on YouTube, so the channel bot might intervene. Oh, print. This game, and then one of I can't remember which Apollo Justice it was. I'm sorry, which the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games it was. But there is one where they introduce Emma Sky and like the fingerprinting and whatnot. Those are games that came later than the original Ace Attorney games. And they showed up on things like the Nintendo DS. This is a Nintendo DS mechanic. You would actually tap the stylus on the screen to put down the powder, and you would actually blow into the microphone to blow the dust off. Case is solved already. What next? We have to match the print, right? Let's match it. Wait. Detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo. Cat noises behind me. Not sure what they're up to. We should ask her, get some expert advice. So, I'm not sure she really qualifies as an expert. Man, bit of a stab at this guy there. This pair of slippers, toe print and all. Print on these is nice and clear, too. Makes our job easy. Can you analyze it for us? Of course, hang on. Bingo. Gosh, I'm good. I mean, one of the things with, so I'm sure image processing can be leveraged for this purpose. But fingerprint analysis is another one of those things that often involves eyeballing. I'm not familiar with Whistle. I might be familiar with it, but I'm not familiar with the title. I'm aware of the Rick Astley song. The ones who found the prints, a perfect match. Same person wore these sandals and slippers. I was afraid of that. What we have to do is find out who these sandals belong to. Ah, okay. So one of the things that we found out is that it seemed unlikely based on the description of the scenario, since Walkie was standing such that when the witness, Stickler, was shouted to them, that they would have looked towards him, and if Walkie was the one that would have shot, he would have hit him in the left temple, not the right temple. But we have a footprint over here on this side of the cart, so if the guy turned to the right to see Wesley shouting and they fired from here, they could hit him in the right temple. So once again, it's looking like Alita is our killer. I can't say, not yet. It's one big step closer to the truth. Dramatic. Okay, Eldune's presence hasn't been triggered yet. So Alita, the fiance of the suspect, our client, one, she's got kind of some sus behaviors around her, but it does seem she is at least like it really seems like she is present at the crime scene, and that she is also present at the clinic where the victim worked and where the client was seen for medical procedure. And you had mentioned, was she a biological daughter? This picture in the background is one of those things that makes me kind of doubt it. Is you have a different like magician in cape that is very much not Phoenix by the jawline. Okay, we have another flag in Phoenix's hospital room. Phoenix was hit by a car at the beginning of this trial. That is one of the events that happened that we haven't dug into yet, is why the green car that is parked in the clinic garage was driving around that night. The prodigal attorney returns. Welcome, Apollo. But yeah, this is Phoenix now. He plays piano badly and pretty much cheats at poker. I heard you did well in the trial today. Here to discuss something? I could use a little diversion. Apparently, stuff went down 7 years ago from this game, and Phoenix's life has gone in a direction. What did Detective Sky say? If you want to know something, you have to investigate it yourself. Mr. Wright. Hello, Sammy. So Ember is currently sitting on my lap in precisely the place that Sammy normally sits. And Sammy is showing a lot of hesitance here. Ember often sits in a different position. Like she'll climb up my chest a little bit. And if that's the case, Sammy will shove down into her regular spot, and that will push Ember out of the way. But since Ember is all the way in her spot, then Sammy did not intervene, which is, I didn't realize that's how it would go down. I mean, I would assume that it's definitely not his daughter, but given the picture in the background, if it was his daughter, again, it creates a weird scenario with the original Ace Attorney games. Huh. Nightbot fired twice. Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. They generally don't get into fights. Ember will take a swing at some of them if she thinks they're getting into her personal space when she's snoozing. Like if she's laying where Sherbet is, she takes offense if like Sherbet tries to step past her, like by walking over her. So Ember will take a swing now and again. Sammy and Mason play a little rough now and again, so sometimes paws are thrown. But otherwise, they all kind of have their spots. Mr. Wright, tell me what happened 7 years ago, please. I want to know. I need to know. Yeah, I'd like you guys to stop talking about it like it's that time. The incident. Remember that? Yeah, that was a thing. We're not going to tell you about it because it was just everybody knows about the thing. Certainly didn't waste any time getting to the point. Nightbot doesn't like when Nightbot says that, it's not that you spammed, it's that enough time has passed and enough people have talked since it last did something. So it shows up like right after somebody says something, because it will detect, hey, there's been this many lines of chat and it has been this long. I will say something again. It is night here. Central U.S. time zone. Oh, evening. 7 years ago, I was standing in a courtroom on behalf of a client. The case involved the death of a certain magnificent genius. Okay. This case, the death of the individual is probably why he adopted Trucy. That's how I think this is going down. Yep, Akira, it is an automated message. It's set up to require a certain number of lines of chat and a certain amount of time to pass before it says anything again. It's just the channel rules synopsis. And welcome, Akira. Welcome. Surprised if you hadn't heard about it. It was all over the news, I remember that. You were up against Prosecutor Gavin, weren't you? Yes, he was only 17 years old at the time. Phoenix kind of attracts the wunderkind lawyers. 17 years old? That's still high school. He took the bar exam abroad, in Europe. They're progressive over there, The Phoenix Wright games really do have that kind of, that opinion of it. Phoenix has got to be... I think he's like 30-something. Phoenix is not presented as very old in the Ace Attorney games. A noteworthy thing is that... I don't know if they, like, retcon this or anything like that, but Phoenix did not go to college for law. He went to college for art. He studied law on the side. It's constantly emphasized that he has very little grasp of, like, legal proceedings or anything like that, and it's that he wins by intuition and perception. This Phoenix is even more so along those lines and seems to have picked up on procedure too. But still, not terribly old. Which is why it's, with 7 years ago, that would put it, like, firmly into the time that it's, like, from college to the early trials. Right now, well, in the last trial, Phoenix was technically the pianist in a Russian restaurant. They served borscht and had a really hammed up theme, and that they refrigerated the whole building to make it authentically cold. But the piano playing was really kind of just this is what you do when your normal job is not active. And he would play poker. He was an undefeated poker champion. but the undefeated is augmented by the fact that Trucy would be there with him, helping him win. He does have that look, doesn't he, Akira? He's kind of scruffy. I was defeated by a 17-year-old newcomer. In my shame, I left the practice forever. That's all. That's all? How could that be all? Like, Phoenix's facial expressions in this game, like, in this form, are just really sly. Like, it's a good question, Brianna, who's paying the hospital bill, because it sounds like Trucy's the one that brings in the money with her magic show, though not necessarily a lot of money. What about what they were saying on the news about forged evidence? They said you forged evidence and had your attorney's badge stripped from you. I do like... the thing I love about this sprite the most, aside from, like, they did a really good job giving him almost like a... He's much more jaded or worldly. Said he's very sly. Like, he knows a lot more than he used to. He's seen a lot more than he did before. But I love the hat pin. He's got a very sly, knowing face, and then the hat, the little pin is just like, wah. Tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to stand here before Phoenix Wright, the Forging attorney himself? How does it feel? I don't want to believe it's true. But what about what happened in my first trial? I didn't realize that, Dice Goddess. That, Dice Goddess is on Twitch, for those on YouTube. That pin is apparently one of the pins that Emma Sky had when she was younger. If I recall, the case that involved Emma Sky's sister was the last one in the Ace Attorney games, wasn't it? The original Ace Attorney games. There's a single piece of forged evidence. He had Trucy come and deliver a card with a blood splotch on it to you, but that was not the actual card with a blood splotch. The actual killer had cleaned that up, but by presenting it as if we had it, it sort of disrupted the story, and it revealed what had really happened. So it was fake evidence, but it didn't hinge around the fake evidence. It's what came out after it was what was important. Talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. Naughty. I don't see you jump into my defense on this one. Maybe I did forge evidence. Maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter now, does it? But I'm not an attorney anymore. That's the only truth you need to know. Mr. Wright. It's like he doesn't want to talk about the accusations of forgery. For now. Do you have anything we need to show him? I think so. Okay, so we've asked him for his little backstory, and we got a little bit of it. Hey there, Akira, now on Twitch. Edgeworth was accused of forging evidence, and Edgeworth got pulled into a lot of... we haven't seen Edgeworth. We haven't seen Edgeworth yet, Brianna. I don't know if they show up. For those that aren't aware, I am currently simulcasting to Twitch and in 2 different aspect ratios on YouTube, both for tall aspect ratio for like phones and for widescreen for like PCs and TVs. Who knows? Maybe Edgeworth will show up. Okay, so just there. Is Eldoon back yet? He's not. Very evasive. There was something we needed to show Phoenix. Guy, I was wondering about this. Intrusi, wait. It's vital evidence there. You can't show her that. It's our secret weapon in tomorrow's trial, for sure. I don't know at the moment there, Brianna. I will say it's difficult to spot. Or at least difficult to determine. I try not to fix on it too much. They're all... Each of them is a very different platform. Even though 2 of them are on YouTube, both of those different methods... So the shorts feed on YouTube and the basic feed on YouTube are very different as far as like how people come through them. Oh, clever, Apollo. Yes, we shall hide evidence from the police. Did I tell you before? If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, do it quietly. Okay. Something we missed. Jump around and look for flags. Or if we have that listed. 15. Yeah, this would put... If Trucy were a biological daughter, it would put it like before the Ace Attorney trilogy. So it would be like when he was in college. So it's from what Phoenix told us, it is his last case. I'm guessing involved her actual parent, her actual father. Okay, nope. Phoenix is gone. So maybe detention? Looking for flags. Oh, found one. Cry Angel, Daddy's back and Daddy's... Oh, you again. He's assuming that Alita would show up. You always have to announce your entrances like that. And my old man, Man, I'm all in a funk and it's his fault. One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson and failed, clearly. This is Waki Kitaki. Our client and the would-be heir to the Kitaki crime family. He is a very different form of organized criminal in his mind only. You got your work cut out for you, straight up. Of course, I don't care if they lock me up. I'm ready to go. It is his assertion that it is important for a real G to have served time. Some days I wonder why I do what I do. His appearance is supposed to be like a fox. If you look at his coat has little emblems there. The family symbol is a fox. Got his little ears. More button. Hey man, you won't see me bugging about 1 or 2 guilty charges. What if you're found guilty of murder? Hey, it's all experience. You feel me, shorty? Like a badge of honor. I mean, it's not a terrible jacket. It's just sad that that jacket is being worn by Waki. They don't give the death penalty, do they? You didn't really do it, did you? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I've learned one thing today. It's that silence speaks louder than words. And my old man is whack. Disappointing, that's what he is. That about lines up. That would put him right around when he's in college and like fawning over the Black Widow lady. You know, the one that seemingly murdered all the people. But he wants to leave the mob over my dead body. I spend my life trying to keep it real, being an OG and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft? Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it. I agree, Apollo. Sigh. The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kataki family. Hehehe. Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail for my sake. I show him the medical record. How about her shoes? Are these her shoes? Monkey, you don't happen to recognize these, do you? Hey, sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her. Yeah. He's got a version of the Blue Badger with sunglasses and a goatee. For Miss Tiala. Yes, a birthday present. She's got mad little feet. Mad. So cute, man. These sandals are hers. I kinda had a feeling. What's up with the funky vibes? What's that? Some kind of X-ray? Wait. That's right, Waki. It's yours. Hey, look, I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long, right? I don't think he gets it, Apollo. Take a closer look here in particular, where it says nurse. It's signed Alita Tiala. You lawyers do your homework. So, you met Miss Tiala when you... Yeah, I met her at the clinic. So? Could you tell us a bit about the circumstances of your meeting? I wonder if we'll get to see older Gumshoe. I mean, There are so many of the Ace Attorney characters that would be interesting moved forward 7 years. I'd say, you know, an older Francisca would be interesting, except the I fear one of my regular viewers' head would explode if that were true. Haven't seen Mia yet. Or Maya. So if we see Maya, we might see Mia. I'm fine. I'll tell you how we met if you want to know that bad. We are going to stop here, though. We're gonna wrap up for the night. We do have a prior engagement to get to. So we're going to call it there. I don't have a schedule set up for this week, but we are going to play some more Ace Attorney later this week. Thank you, Brianna. I'm glad you had a good time. For those that are watching, if you did have a good time and would like to see more content like this, remember to like, subscribe, comment, whatever it is on the platform that you're on, so that the algorithms know what you like and can give you more of that. Generally, when I stream, it's starting at 4 p.m. U.S. Central Time. The next stream will probably be tomorrow. We're probably going to do more Godot game development, more coding. Made a little bit of progress. I want to make some more. Should be fun. And then later this week, more Ace Attorney, more coding, and what have you. We're trying to get back in stride. We've had a bit of downtime, and we're recovering from that. Yeah, glad to have the new folks here today. It was good times. And the camera's misbehaving. One of these times, I'll have to remember to adjust my cameras again. I have some ideas on how to make them work better. But again, I hope everybody had a good time tonight. And I will see you next time. Good night, everybody.